Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this evening's performance of Emily, an English language no. Thank you very much for coming this evening, and to those of you who are watching on the internet, welcome too, and thank you for joining us. I want to begin by saying that this performance of Emily is dedicated to the composer of the work, Richard Emmett, who very sadly can't be with us today, but we dedicate this performance to him, and we hope we do your music justice. No is one of the oldest continuing performance forms in the world. It originated in the 14th century. But despite this long history, one of the things that we want to show or propose to you this evening is that no is a living form. It's a form that can express ideas not from Japan. It's a form that can express something about modern life wherever you are in the world. I don't know if you've seen No before, but the stage that No performances take place on are very special. They have 4 pillars, which we have represented here with these lights. And these pillars are really important because they enable the actor, and in fact all of the performers, to know where they need to be on the stage. They're kind of like a GPS for all the performers, so they know where they are. This is particularly important for the main performer because when they wear a mask, they can see relatively little. So these pillars are really important in making sure they're in the right place. One thing that No is often called is theatre. And I wonder if that's the right term for what No is. No is contemplative, it's aesthetic. It certainly relies upon the audience to participate. I would say that we as a company are offering around 70% of the performance to you this evening, but we need you to participate and give us the other 30% by working with your imagination. So in a sense, we're all working on this performance together. And hopefully, if we work successfully, we will create something that's effective and moving. One of the other things that I think is quite interesting in thinking about whether No is theatre or not is that sometimes in theatre, time is kind of collapsed. There's a sense in which you can move through an entire day in maybe just half an hour, 40 minutes, or you can move across a week. There's a kind of strong sense of progression of time. In No, we have almost the opposite. One small moment, maybe just a few seconds long, maybe a suffragette being killed by a horse, suddenly becomes an hour and 10-minute piece. So I wonder whether viewing No as theatre or No text as plays is the right way to appreciate what's going on. Having said that, the words are very important, and one of the things that is usual in Japan is that you can purchase a copy of the text in Japanese to read along and help you understand what's going on in the performance. And we've replicated that this evening. So in the programme that's available from the foyer, the entire text of Emily is included. And if you have a copy of that to hand, you're very welcome to read it as we go through. This will aid your understanding of what's going on. But if that's not something that you want to do, we hope nevertheless that the rhythm and the overall emotion of the piece will still make an impact upon you, even if you don't catch every word. As I say, this is what No performances in Japan are like, so it's not something that's peculiar to English language No, it's just the nature of performance. Finally, this is always a bit of an experiment in a sense, No in English, but we'd really appreciate your feedback. And so for that reason, there's a questionnaire on each seat. And if you have any thoughts at all, if you could just spare a few moments to fill that in, that would be great. And if those of you who are watching on the internet, if you want to leave a comment underneath the screen, that would be wonderful. Finally, I should probably introduce myself now that I've nearly finished. My name is Ashley Thorpe, and I am the writer of Emily. And it's wonderful that you're all here this evening, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's performance. Thank you very much.
りたりかたきはこれぞと歌んとするに肌をばおんにてほうじの念ぐして弔られれば次には誰もまるべしに同じ8つの連射の星 時々力を引き上げたまえと約束し一つなりけんの抜き持って
海底に飛び入れば空は一つに雲の波煙の波をしのぎつつ開門門と分け入りて直下と見れどもそこもなくほとりも知らぬ海底にその人弁ないさ知らず取りえんことは不条なりかくて理運に足りて気打ちを見ればその高さ30畳の欲とにかの玉を米をき小げを備え守護陣に八流が見たりその他悪行ワニの口逃れが私や我が命さすが女院のふるさとの片底意識あの波のあなたにぞ我が子はるらん父愛人もお忘らん猿にてもこのままに別れ果てなん悲しさよと涙ぐみて立ちしがまた思い切りて手を合わせ南無やしどじの観音さたの力を合わせて神玉へとて大日の利権の額にあって理運の中に飛び入ればそういえば届いたりけるその暇に宝珠を盗み取って逃げんとすれば守護人の核兼ねて巧み仕事をなれば持ちたる剣を取り直し血の下をかき切り玉を押し込め剣を捨ててぞ不したりける理運の習いに死人のいめば当たりに近づく悪理なし約束の名は
and we met on.
I am a member of the laity. I have heard tell of a beautiful chapel to the west of the capital. It sits inside a Gothic edifice with a beautiful clock tower. Part of Royal Holloway, our first women's college. I have decided to travel there and see this chapel for myself. Departing the city's heart, heading to the west. Departing the city's heart, heading to the west, following the trail carved by old Father Thames, moving beyond the tideway, crossing where kings and barons stood to settle feuds and sign the Magna Carta, on which our nation stands. Cross meadows atop Egham Hill rises the Gothic edifice of Royal Holloway. Climbing the tree-lined hill, at last I arrive. Climbing the tree-lined hill, at last I arrive. After following the path of the River Thames, I have quickly arrived at Royal Holloway. Passing through the college gates, I stand in awe at the Gothic splendor of a red brick edifice. Certainly this must house the chapel I seek. I see a gardener coming this way. I will ask him for directions.
Its course, and yet wounds. Should nature's designation govern these last breaths, his self-determination, the greatest felony. Troubled these hands cultivate this Gethsemane. Troubled these hands cultivate this Gethsemane.
Please forgive my interruption, but as you work on this estate, you must know this college well.
Yes, I know this college well. I've worked these grounds for many years.
I have come to see the chapel, which I understand is housed within this red brick edifice.
The edifice of which you speak is the Founder's building. To enter the chapel, please make your way to that northernmost wing.
Thank you for your directions. And may I ask, are there other places of interest?
Yes, indeed there are. Opposite the chapel there stands a gallery, housing many fine works of art. Moreover, the grounds are quite extensive, and the estate is well maintained. There are pleasant paths to travel through the woods.
What is that building I see? It looks like it has only recently been opened.
This is the new library. It takes its name from a well-known daughter.
And may I ask, who is this famous daughter?
Her name was Emily Wilding Davison. She studied at the college for a short time, but did not complete her studies. The library now bears her name.
I am familiar with that name. Was she not the suffragette killed at a racecourse many years ago?
Indeed, it is the very same woman.
Then I know something of her life, though I must confess, I did not know she had passed through here. If she did not complete her studies, why was a building named after her?
As this is our first women's college, it makes sense to honor such a name.
Please forgive my impudence, but yet I still do not understand this act of commemoration.
She made a protest at the Derby against the denial of votes to women.
She was not alone in agitating for the vote.
Yet it was she who made the supreme sacrifice so that women may live in free democracy.
She gave her life for the rights that women have since been granted.
On her gravestone it is inscribed,
we true love hath no man than this, that laid down his life for a friend.
Then surely it is right to remember her.
To honor to the memory is the right and proper.
I am a history student at this college, returning from our library. I am now hurrying back to my room so that I can continue with my studies. Oh, here I see a visitor to the college looking lost and confused. I will ask if I can assist in any way. Please excuse me intruding. But I am a history student at this college. I see you are a visitor, but you seem unsure of where to go. I wonder if I could offer you any assistance.
Did you see that old gardener who was standing here just a moment ago?
As I approached, I saw only you, sitting by yourself. We do have estate gardeners here, but I saw no one with you.
Perhaps he had gone by the time you passed. You say you are a history student.
Yes, indeed. I am a student of history, politics, and international relations.
And what is the focus of your study?
I have been researching Emily Wilding Davidson and those associated with her death.
How strange. It seems that I hear of her often at this college. I was wondering if you could tell me something about Emily's life.
I have only been researching this topic for a short time, but I will do my best to give you the facts about her life.
Please tell me what you know.
Gladly will I do so. When Emily Wilding Davidson was 19 years old, she received a bursary to study here at Royal Holloway. After a year and a half, her father died, and her mother could no longer afford the tuition fees. Emily was forced to end her studies early. Gaining employment as a teacher, she joined the Women's Social and Political Union. Participating in their militant actions, she threw stones at cars and windows and set fire to pillar boxes. She even whipped a Baptist minister she mistook for the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Emily received 7 prison sentences for her actions, during which, whilst on a hunger strike, she was force-fed 49 times. But it is for her actions at the Epsom Derby on the 4th of June 1913 that she is popularly remembered. As the 3 o'clock race drew to its close, she stepped onto the course and was struck by King George V's horse. Emily died in Epsom Hospital 4 days later, having never regained consciousness. Nobody knows for certain what her intentions were. Did she mean to bring down the king's horse? Or was she trying to attach a rosette? Or was she trying to commit suicide to draw attention to the cause? Nobody is sure. I have also discovered that the jockey riding the horse that struck her was named Herbert Jones. He was most famous for racing King Edward VII's horse, Diamond Jubilee. Apparently a rather tetchy beast that only he could control. After his horse struck Emily, he was knocked unconscious. All he could recall was that Emily seemed to clutch at his horse, and he felt it strike her. He could recollect falling through the air, but did not remember touching the ground at all, and could remember nothing of what happened afterwards. Depressed, following the death of his wife, he committed suicide. Those are the important facts about both of their lives. I hope this is useful information for you.
It was very useful indeed. You mentioned that Herbert Jones had said that he felt Emily clutch at his horse, and he felt it strike her. The tearful old man I just met used those same words. This incident is most strange, and the events of which you speak so sorrowful. The lives of both Davison and Jones ended before their time.
Please forgive my intruding. I am also a history student at this college and was just passing by. Suddenly I heard a conversation about Emily Wilding Davison. As I am researching Emily and am something of an expert, I thought I would join the conversation and share my many insights.
Oh, it had to be you of all people. I was telling the important facts about the life of Emily Wilding Davidson and the jockey Herbert Jones. But I am sure that, as usual, your views will be completely different to mine.
The problem is that you will not accept that Emily, but the Wilding Davison. She was impulsive, hysterical, and irrational. Emily was blessed with great intellect and courage, but a scant common sense and self-control. I mean, look at any photo of Davison. Those high starch collars, those hard straw hats, what are they but the symbols of acute psychological dyspepsia?
Oh, very emotional, hysterical, and psychologically disturbed, he says. Yet again, you fail to take account of what suffrage meant to those who were imprisoned, brutally force-fed, lost their friends, their families, and their homes. Look at what they chose to give up. That is a sign of strength and rationality, not weakness and insanity.
No, what they gave up simply confirmed that they were lesbians.
Did you just hear that? And what evidence do you have to support this claim?
I was reading this book from 1935 and it says, I recite, it was from some secret yearning to recover the wisdom of women that the homosexual movement first manifested itself in 1912 among the suffragettes.
Yes. I know the book from which you quote. I'm amazed that anyone still reads it, given how many have since dismissed it. The idea that lesbianism began in 1912 is rather specific. Whether lesbian or not, it was true that Emily lived in a women's community of friendship, love, and support, but also of dissension and strife. She treasured all of it, the good and the bad. It motivated her, supported her, outraged her, pushed her on, provided her with ideas in a context in which to develop these and make them her own.
Develop ideas of her own? Nonsense. Votes for Women was a single-issue campaign spread by automatons following the orders of their leaders. Emily was thrown out of the Women's Social and Political Union for not towing the line.
It was true that she lost favour with her leaders for a time, but Emily used feminism as the lens through which she saw socialism, pacifism, and animal rights. It was not a single-issue campaign.
The suffragette movement was always from a single perspective. Marxist scholars have shown the suffragettes to be middle-class agitators. They completely obscure the class basis of women's oppression.
Yet, if you troubled yourself to engage with the individual stories of the suffragettes, they clearly evidence friendship and political organisation that moves across the social classes.
In my opinion, the suffragettes were nothing more than a group of terrorists. Terrorism, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is a person who uses or favors violent and intimidating methods of coercing a government or community. I would say the suffragettes fit into that category.
And what was it that drove women to these extraordinary acts? In the torturous force-feeding meted out in the suffragettes, were men not also those who used violent and intimidating methods of coercing a community? Perhaps it is convenient for you to forget that the suffragettes killed no one, whereas force-feeding risked the death of countless imprisoned women. Is it not possible that the state committed the acts of terrorism of which you speak?
This has been a most engaging conversation. But time is pressing and there are other things that I must do.
Of course. I hope
this discussion was useful for you.
Your discussion is of interest up to a point, but only up to a point.
Please explain what you mean.
You speak across different interpretations of history. History is always contested ground. Recognizing the differences between your views is a way to comprehend this fact. And yet, for me, it is the sorrow that endures. If you will forgive me, I wish to make my way to the chapel. There I shall offer up prayers to the troubled souls of Emily Wilding Davison and the jockey Herbert Jones.
Well, look at what you just did! Me? That was you!
No, that was entirely your fault.
I beg your pardon.
Your arguments are always poorly researched and one-sided.
They were certainly not poorly researched on one side.
I beg your pardon.
If anyone is one-sided, it is you. The problem is that you are too much of a feminist to see things the way they really are.
And what about you?
I beg your pardon.
You are too much of a misogynist to see women for what they really are.
What nonsense! Drivel, twaddle, and claptrap!
I beg your pardon.
My argument is always impeccably researched from the best writers. I believe in history!
The best writers? But if a woman has written it, it seems that you do not want to know. You say that you believe in history, but what about her story?
In twilight I arrive at the chapel. Last rays of sunset reveal hushed tones of splendor, pale radiance from gold pillars mark out velvet walls. Celestial frescoes up above diminish to silhouettes. Passing the apse, I walk the aisle, seeking heavenly grace. Twilight falls away tonight. Birds all silent. Twilight falls away tonight. Birds are silent. Too late now to journey back. Here I spend the night. Thoughts of the old man hang heavy on the mind. Unfathomable weeping for Davison and Jones. This suffragette gave her life. This jockey took his own. Praying their spirits roam free, released from
Against his wishes to haunt the night. Does someone remember me? Do they call my name? If they do, might it bring respite from this
Saint Last tears the moonbeams into dappled light as auras of another world painted by passing emerged from darkness craving
Engaged in prayer alone in this moonlit chapel, suddenly someone moving through the darkness startles me. Who is it that walks through the shadows?
you see before you Herbert Jones, once the jockey of kings.
This must be some kind of trickery. How could you be the jockey, Herbert Jones?
I appear before you as a spirit. I ended my mortal life with my own hand. Now my soul suffers in purgatory for this sin.
Surely my eyes are being deceived. Am I awake or is this dream? If you are the jockey Herbert Jones, why do you walk here in this chapel?
Writers have claimed that Emily haunted me, appeared to me in dreams and nightmares, and drove me to take my own life. The truth is, I did not know her. She did not haunt my dreams.
If you did not know Emily, and she did not haunt your dreams, why do you walk the college where she once studied?
I left little for history to contest this deceit. Even with my closest family, I rarely spoke of Emily. What I could not bring myself to confront in life, I am compelled to confront in death. I now must walk this woeful course and contemplate Emily's death in places she knew well.
Absolute silence will only bear sadness. It is the aura of death itself. So that I might offer prayer and bid salvation, I beg you, please, tell me of this woeful course you follow.
Emily was unknown. Yet now our spirits are entwined. Target of suffragettes.
Our sunless turn race horses into tawdry race. Race horse owners and jockeys too, all in dread. Jones himself advised his friends that he would be shot. A worthy prize indeed was to top the royal steed. But nothing will stop him from riding for the As the king's jockey, Jones enjoys widespread fame, a reputation made by Diamond Jubilee. The difficult, unruly steed, tamed by these hands, Diamond Jubilee Jones, his sparkling epithet.
Destiny pursues the fate of
The starting flag drops. Suddenly they are all. The starting flag drops. Suddenly they are all crossing to the inside track amid the web of boats. Jones vainly holding and puts against his foes. He whips and pressing him on. And he's set to split, and the strain wanes away. Jones now far behind. Emily hears the cheering crowd, knows the race is underway. Emily stands patiently, biding for the time, destined to prove how adept needs not words can be. Pulsating round, sounds of voices drawing near. Emily stoops down to break her final barricade. Here they come, shouts the crowd, roaring at fever pitch. Emily stands upright, all restraint is gone. She marches straight up to the course for her last campaign. Leading horses blur past her, obscuring walls of nerve. Three more charging horses pass, followed by four more. Then she stands in front of him, her resolve resolute, her arms outstretched, holding something. Who knows what it is?
Suddenly, I see a woman